Hi, I'm Susan. I'm a certified Pilates instructor, and my style is heavily influenced by my physiotherapy background and my mindfulness training. So you'll experience that in every class that I teach. And I hope you enjoy this one where we're focused on strengthening our abdominals with the help of a soft Pilates ball. Let's get on the mat. Welcome to this core focus class. We're going to be challenging or activating and challenging our core with the help of a partially deflated Pilates ball. If you don't have a ball like this, you can try using a cushion. Some of the time the ball is going to be behind the knee, so just make sure you pick a cushion that you can hold at the back of your knee. As always, you can also do all of this without a prop, but the ball will really add that extra challenge in some instances today. So I encourage you to use it if you have it. We're going to be working entirely on our backs, so let's make our way there. Take the ball with you. Now we'll have our knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and we'll take the ball between the knees. Just barely squeezing, really not even squeezing it, just making sure the ball stays where it is. Our feet and knees are hip distance apart as much as having the ball between the knees allows us to. And then the pelvis is nice and neutral. Let's take our hands to our belly, if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can have your arms just resting at your sides. We'll just take a moment to feel our body against the ground here. So notice your feet against the ground. Notice your pelvis against the ground. Your shoulders. Your head. And then starting to notice the breath. Maybe you can feel it underneath where your hands are if they're on your belly. Make sure there's no squeeze on that ball and we're still in that neutral spine. So we'll take a breath in together. It's a little deeper than your normal depth here. So breathing in. And then as you breathe out, just gently tensioning the core, giving that ball a little bit of a squeeze. On the inhale, we're going to release the squeeze, maybe feeling that belly rise underneath your hands. And then exhale, let the belly fall, creating some tension in the abdomen as you create tension in the ball. So we'll just do about 3 more of these. So on the inhale, we're relaxing through the legs and the core. On the exhale, we're tensioning and squeezing through that ball. Pelvis stays nice and neutral throughout here. 2 more times. So there's no real movement here, maybe just the knees kind of coming together. Otherwise, we're just moving, or not moving, but activating the core with the breath. So 1 more time. And on the inhale, we'll release that squeeze. Taking the ball, into their right hand, but lifting both hands up to the ceiling. So we're still in our neutral position here. Feet are hip distance apart. We're gonna work opposite arm and leg here. So the ball in your right hand, breathing in here at the center. On the exhale, taking the right arm out to a T as you let your left knee open to the left. And then exhale, come back to center, switch the ball to the other side. Left arm opens to the left and the right knee opens to the right. Exhale, center. So we'll alternate sides each time, passing the ball across to the other hands. So this one's nice and slow, really working on that control and that stability through your center. So on the inhale, we open while we keep our pelvis centered and keeping our ribs centered and connected to the floor. So inhale, open. Exhale, light activation through the core, coming back to center. We'll just do 4 more. So it's not about how far you open, particularly with the knee. More just can you stay centered through your pelvis, through your rib cage as you do this. Just 1 more on each side. And last one. Well, when you come back to center, you're taking this ball behind your right knee. And then we're going to leave this leg in tabletop. With the pelvis still neutral, we're going to float the other leg to tabletop. And then the arms will reach up to the ceiling, palms facing in. We're going to start with this right leg and left arm. So breathing in at center, breathing out, tapping the right toes down, left arm opens to the left, just like we were doing with the ball. And then inhale, center. So again, tapping the right toes down, left arm opens to the T, inhale, center. So let's keep going, same leg, same arm. So we're tapping our toes, really controlling this leg moving away from us, using our core to lift back up. So we'll go for 4, 3, keeping that little pocket of air between your lower back and the floor. Last one. We're going to stay in this tabletop position. We're going to add the other side. Except on the other side, the leg's going to be doing a different movement. So let's breathe in at center. And then left leg is going to go forward on a diagonal, right arm out to the side. Inhale, center. And then we go back to the left, tapping the toes, opening the opposite arm. And then the left leg reaches forward, right arm out to the side. So we're going to alternate between these two, the toe tap and the reach. We're still moving fairly slowly here to really challenge our core instead of using speed to kind of take some of the load off of the core or some of the work. Keep going as you watch to make sure the ribs are not popping up to the ceiling. So keep them drawn in and connected to the ground. We've got 2 more rounds here. So 1 on each side equals 1 round. So last round here. Toe tap and up. Reach and back to center. We're going to place just the left foot down. Take your hands to the ball, but leave it where it is, stretching your right leg up to the ceiling. We can extend actually that left leg down the mat. So we're going to do some curls here, rolling this ball up our leg. So straightening out this leg as much as you can. Just watch that you don't come into an imprint through your lower back to start with. It might happen as you curl up on this one, but we don't want to start. We want to start in a neutral position. All right, so chin to chest as you inhale. Exhale, we roll that ball up as far as we can. Inhale, we make it back down. So don't forget that little nod of the chin just to keep that neck lengthened as we do this. So exhale, we roll up as high as we can. Inhale, we lower, always with that control, that Pilates control. Lengthening this leg while we stabilize the other side on the ground. Let's try 4 more. And 3. Go at your, if you need to go at a slower pace, don't worry about it. Just go at a pace that makes sense for you. And then you can catch up on the next exercise. We got 1 more here. We're going to come up 1 more time and hold. And then take a breath in here. Float your other leg off the ground. We're going to switch legs. So right leg is going to go down, left leg is going to come up, and take that ball around the top leg. Switch, circle the ball around, and switch. We're still trying to lengthen our leg up to the ceiling each time we lift it up. Breathing in, breathing out. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to take this ball back behind the right knee as we take our head down. And we're going to place that foot, just the ball of that foot, on the ground. So we're going to squeeze that ball. The foot might not be in line with the other side depending on the size of the ball here, and that's okay. We'll just make sure we're about hip distance apart side to side, but if one foot is in front of the other, that's okay. So neutral spine here. We're going to just do a little bit of bridging back activation before we go to back to the core on the other side. So we'll take a breath in. Exhale, we're going to press through that left leg and lift up into our bridge. So because we're on the toes more or less on that right side, we've got more contact through our left foot. So we're working more through the left side here. Let's go for 6. Gently pulling our hips towards our heels each time we come up. And 5, squeezing those glutes. And 4. 3, coming all the way up, keeping a connection across the front of your body. Ribs drawn in, hip points up towards the ribs. Last 2 here. Squeeze and squeeze. Awesome. When you come back down, take this ball to your left leg. We're going to keep that leg in tabletop. Just check in with the neutral position here. And floating your second leg to tabletop. They might not be exactly aligned, the shins anyway, because of where the ball is, and that's totally fine. We're going to take our arms up to the ceiling. So again, we're going to start with the ball side and the opposite arm. So tapping the left toes down, right arm opens, inhale, center. Same leg, same arm. Exhale, open, inhale, center. So really tapping into the core here. You can use that exhale to help you if you find that helpful. We'll do 3 more like this before we add the other side. And 2. And 1. So remember, the other side was leg is going to go forward on the diagonal, arm opens to the opposite side. So we're going to alternate sides here. Back to the first sides. And then we've got our reach and open, center, tap and open, center. We breathe out as we reach, coming to center with an inhale.
Check in with your neutral spine. Allow those ribs to stay connected to the floor underneath you. We're going to go for 3 more rounds. Again, take the pace that feels right for you. 2. And last round, if you're on my counts. And center, we're going to take the right foot to the ground, take your hands to the ball, stretch that leg out, stretch your other leg out on the ground. Again, making sure you're as neutral as you can be here with your leg extended. And we're going to start to roll the ball up the leg. So chin down, exhale, we lift and roll. Inhale, we lower. You don't have to go the highest point up with the first one. You can slowly make your way up to your limits. Let that other leg be grounded on the floor. So we're really actively contracting these upper abdominals, trying not to use momentum. We've got 4 more here. That's it. 3. Again, your pace is totally fine as long as you're not going much faster than I am. Last one. And we're going to stay up on this one. Let's float that other leg off the ground, breathing in. Switch the legs, take the ball around that top leg, breathing out. So breathing in and breathing out. Keep stretching that top leg up to the ceiling. That's it. Let's go for 3. Keep reaching and lengthening. 2. And 1. We're going to come back down, taking that ball behind the left knee, and then bringing both feet to the ground, and you're going to be on your left toes. Again, your feet might not be lined up here, and that's okay. So we're going to go back to those bridges, this time favoring the right leg. So we're in a neutral spine as we breathe in, and then exhale, we're going to press our hips up. Inhale, hinge to come down. So working through this right leg. So the squeeze in the glutes, the activation in the hamstrings. Well, maybe not so much the hamstrings because we're holding the ball at the back of the other leg, but the glute activation is going to be stronger here on the right side. Let's keep going here. So we're exhaling, pressing into that foot, particularly the heel. We've got 7, 6. If you're drifting towards the top of your mat, try to pull yourself down towards your feet. We've got 4, 3, 2, pressing all the way up, and 1. Beautiful. Let's take the ball out and we're going to place it between our ankles. So a lower abdominal exercise. We've just got this one and 1 more. Head and shoulders are going to stay down this time. If you bring your knees towards you, just allowing yourself to come into an imprint. There's 2 parts to this exercise. So breathing in to prepare. Exhale, we're going to stretch the legs forward as far as we can. Inhale, come to tabletop. Exhale, move from your hips to tap your heels towards the ground. Inhale, center. So exhale forwards on that diagonal. Inhale, center. Exhale, your hips move away, or your thighs, sorry, move away from you. And then center. So this whole time we're trying to keep our spine imprinted here. Shaky, shaky perhaps. So find the diagonal that's challenging for you, but you don't have to rush through. And here we've got that squeeze on the ball as we move the thighs away from us, even if we just go part way and then come back up. So it's always about maintaining that core connection more so than how far you go. That's going to dictate how far you go. We're going to go for 3 more rounds. If your abs are tired from maybe a previous workout, this might feel shakier. One more of each. Almost there. Try not to rush through these last ones. When you come back to center, take the ball between the knees, arms out to a T. We can relax on that imprint here. Breath in at center, rotating the legs to one side, keeping your opposite shoulder as close to the ground as you can. And then back through center with control. Inhaling to the other side. Using those core muscles to come back through center. So opposite shoulder stays on the ground or as close as it can. Now we're going to try to keep our knees aligned. So the top knee is going to want to roll or slide back. So we're going to slide that top knee forward to stay in line with the bottom knee as best we can. So there's a rotation through the pelvis as we come around. So watch the use of momentum here, nice and slow and controlled. Just getting those oblique muscles into the game as well. I keep messing up my breathing pattern here, and that happens. That's all good. We're going to go one more to each side. Last one. No rush here. Center. We'll tug these knees into the chest. Maybe a little bit more rocking from side to side. We're finished this core focus class. I have no doubt that you feel your core at least a little bit. Your core muscles have been worked. Feel free to do another round if that's in your ability level at in this moment. This one's also good to pair with something that works in a different position, maybe in a side exercises that worked where we work on our sides or on our hands and knees, just to work the back of the body a little bit more. But if this is all you have time for, energy for, that's perfect as well. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again in another class.